Okay guys, this video is to help you out with your test review for your test coming up this Friday. Let's go ahead and start with number 1. I'm not going to be solving all of these for you guys, just some of them to help you get started. Okay. Number 1 says we're solving for x. So we see here that there's a 6 right next to that x. We need to get rid of that 6 and move it to the other side. So our first step is going to be to set up our t-chart. Then we see that 6 and x next to each other means that they're being multiplied. So we're going to do the opposite. Okay, we're going to divide by 6. If you divide by 6 on this side, you also have to divide by 6 on the other side. We know that 6 divided by 6 means 1. Okay. So we have now x, and on the other side, we have g divided by 6. Let's look at number 3. First things first, always set up our t-chart. Again, we see that we're solving for x, which is right here. So we need to get rid of the m on this side. So since the m is positive, we're going to do the opposite, which is subtract m. And since we're doing it on this side, we're also going to do it on the other to stay even. Okay. M minus m is just 0, so we're going to leave that alone. Then we're going to carry down the negative x. Don't forget that negative that's right there. Very important. Then we need to bring down our z, and we have a minus m. Okay. Now, we are solving for x, not negative x. So we do need to get rid of that negative sign. And the way that we would do that is we're going to divide by that number that's in front of x. Now we know that x has an imaginary 1 in front of it. So we're going to go ahead and divide by negative 1 to help us get rid of that negative. Now if we do it to one side, we have to do it to the other side. Okay, let's go ahead and bring down our t-chart. Now, negative 1 divided by negative 1 is going to give us a positive 1, and so now we just have x. On the other side, we have to distribute and divide each of these by a negative 1, so your signs are going to change. You're going to have negative z plus m, and that's your final answer. Okay, let's look at number 5. So again, we're going to start with our t-chart like always. We see that we're solving for x, which is right here. So now all we need to really get rid of is this negative k. So opposite of negative or subtract is positive or plus. So we're going to add k to this side, and if we do it to this side, we also have to do it to the other side. Okay, so minus k plus k is going to give us 0. We don't need to write the 0, just the x. And then on the other side, we have u plus k. And we've done it. We've solved for x. Number 7 has a fraction. Okay, this is a great opportunity for us to practice getting rid of fractions without numbers. So let's look at a is what we're solving for. And a is here on the bottom. If you notice, this line right here means division. Okay, opposite of division would be to multiply. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy this, then we're going to add our t-chart just like that. Okay, since it's being divided by a, we're going to do the opposite, which is to multiply by a. If you do it to one side, we're going to go ahead and do it to the other side as well to stay even. A divided by a is 1. So the only thing left here is k. And on this side, we have a times u, which we cannot simplify any further. Okay? Now, our goal is to get a by itself. So what we need to do now is move the u. Again, since this is being multiplied, we're going to go ahead and do the opposite, which is divide by u. If you do it to one side, you do it to the other. U divided by u is 1. We have a left over. So a is just going to equal k over u. Okay, number 27, let's put our t-chart up right here. And we realize that we're solving for A, and we need to look and see that there's 2 spots that A is located. All right. We can't combine them because it's 4CA and 3BA. The variables are not matching. So what we can do is pull out a variable that they have in common. So we're going to leave G alone on this side, and we're going to go ahead and take out or undistribute the A. Okay. What's going to be left in our parentheses is 4C minus 3B. At this point, what we need to do is get rid of everything in the parentheses and switch it over to the other side. Now, since the A is attached to this parentheses right here, sorry about that. So since these A is attached to this parenthesis right here, it's being multiplied. Opposite of that would be to divide. So we're going to go ahead and divide this side by everything inside the parentheses because that's what we want to get rid of. If you do it to one side, you have to do it to the other. Okay. And 4C minus 3B divided by 4C minus 3B is going to give us 1. So all that this is going to equal is A. We don't need to copy the 1. And on the other side, we're just going to have this whole thing. And that is our answer. Number 29. Again, let's set up our t-chart. We see that we want x all by itself, and the only thing that's attached to the x is a 4. So let's go ahead and divide everything by 4. So we have 4x, we're going to go ahead and divide by 4, equals negative 4 plus 2d, and we're going to go ahead and divide all of that by 4 as well. Okay, on this side, 4 divided by 4 is just 1. X is going to equal negative 4r plus 2d divided by 4. And that's all for that one. Number 2 of the word problems. A school reserved a banquet hall for the spring dance. In addition to a $100 deposit, each couple must pay $20. If the total cost of the banquet hall is $1,140, write and solve an equation to find the number of couples attending the spring dance. For me, when I see a word problem, I need to go through and highlight the important things, like a $100 deposit, couples are going to pay $20, and I need to know the total cost, okay? Words like total let me know that that's going to be equal. Okay. In addition to $100 tells me there's going to be addition. And over here where it says each couple must pay $20, I don't know the number of couples, so I know that that's going to be an X and that each couple is going to pay $20. So let's go ahead and see if we can get an equation from here. My total is $1,140 right here. I know that that's going to equal my total. So my deposit is going to be $100. No matter what, I'm going to have to pay that. It's right there. And then plus $20 for each couple. We don't know the number of couples, and that's why we're going to use our variable x. Number 3. Which value does not make the inequality 3x plus 5 less than or equal to 14 true? First thing that we need to do is to go ahead and write out the inequality, and I need to solve for x to see which of these numbers actually belongs in the answer choices. Again, we set up our t-chart, and first thing is we're going to go ahead and move this positive 5 The opposite of plus 5 is minus 5. Do it to one side. You also have to do it to the other. So now we have 3x less than or equal to 14 minus 5. Okay. Notice that I didn't change the sign just because I subtracted minus 5. Our rule is if you multiply or divide by a negative number, flip the sign. And this time I just subtracted. So we can go ahead and leave the sign as it is. Okay, we're going to see right here that 3 is being multiplied by the x, so we're going to put a dot